Hi everybody, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be going through a nice feel-good decompressing flow from maybe after a run or after any other type of workout you've maybe been doing on your own. I'll suggest having maybe 2 blocks, maybe a stack of books if you don't have those at home, and we're going to get started on our backs. So as you find your back, just find length from your toes up to your fingertips and start out with a nice full body stretch here. Rock out the hips and just find your length. And then as you feel ready from here, we'll start to pull the knees in towards the belly. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze. Really plug those shoulder blades down to the mat, broaden the collarbones. And then keep the knees where they are. We'll spread the arms out to the shape of a T, and we'll let the knees fall to the left. So a nice gentle supine twist here. Your core was doing some work there. We're just going to wring it out a little bit. On your next inhale, we'll bring the knees back to center. And your next exhale takes your knees to your right. We'll really allow gravity to take you here. You already gave maximum effort there, and we're just letting go. Another exhale here. And as you inhale, bring the knees back to center. We'll keep the knees where they are. Bring that right knee in closer to your chest and land that left foot. And then we'll bring that right ankle to the top of the left thigh. Find your figure 4 here. So you can keep that foot on the ground, or we can start to reach through to the back of that left leg. If you can reach the shin, maybe just reach towards the back of the thigh. Pulling in a little bit tighter. Keep those toes curled in towards the shin. Maybe rock side to side. And then we'll extend that left leg up. Take a circle with your ankle. And then flex the knee. And then extend that leg. Take a circle with the ankle, maybe press, pull, and then flex the knee. Last time, extend that leg, maybe invert, evert, any kind of action you want to take with that left foot. And then we'll bend the knee one more time. We'll keep the knees where they are in that shape. We'll stretch the arms out to the shape of a T, and we'll let that shape fall to the left. So the sole of your right foot is on the ground. That right knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. You can always release that right knee down towards the floor if that's more comfortable for you. Maybe a soft push on the inside of that right knee with the left hand. Maybe grab onto that right ankle. And once again, just allowing gravity to take your torso back towards the ground. One more exhale here. As you inhale, come back to center. Land your left foot. Release that right ankle. Land your right foot. And pull that left knee into your chest. And then bring that left ankle to the top of the right thigh, making a figure 4 shape. You can always stay with that foot on the ground, or you can reach through to the back of that thigh and pull that shin a little bit closer to your chest. Curling those toes towards that left shin. And then we'll extend that right leg up. Take a circle with that ankle. And then bend your right knee. And then extend that right leg. Maybe push, pull with that right foot. Flex the knee. And then last time, extend it straight up. Any motion that feels good to that right ankle. And then bend that right knee one more time. Keep the knees where they are. Stretch the arms out to the shape of a T. And let those legs fall to the right. So you're landing that left foot, ball mound down. Left knee pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Maybe a little bit of a push with that right hand on the inside of the left thigh, but only if that's comfortable. Maybe grab onto that left ankle with the right hand. Just allow gravity to take you here. Nice deep opening for that left hip. One more exhale here. And as you inhale, we'll come back up to center. We'll land that right foot. We'll land the left foot. We'll pull the knees back into the chest one more time. Hands to the backs of the thighs. We'll rock front to back on the length of the spine. And then we'll cross the ankles, making it all the way forward into tabletop position. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. As much length as you can find from the crown of your head to your tailbone. And then we'll open up the collarbones, lift the crown of the head, sink the belly, cow pose. As you exhale, hollow out your belly, tailbone tucks, head is heavy, cat pose. And taking this back and forth a few times. One more round here. On your next inhale, that right leg extends back. And pull that right knee in towards your right tricep. Step that foot outside your right hand. Maybe you come up onto fingertips. Maybe you come up to those blocks or that stack of books. Broaden the collarbones. Think cow pose. Deepen the lunge here. And then shift the hips back, half splits. And then shift forward. And then shift back. Last time, shift forward, land the palms, and then start to extend that right leg back behind you, cross it over to the left, look over your left shoulder at the right foot, breathe deeply up the right side. And then bend that right knee behind the left, hips sink halfway back, half child's pose, half Gomukhasana. Keep the length in your spine. And then shift back forward. Land that right knee next to the left, and we'll extend the left leg back. Bring that left knee into the left tricep. Step it outside the left hand. Once again, fingertips, maybe blocks, maybe those books. Broaden your collarbones, deepen the lunge. Lift the crown of your head. Hips go back, half splits. Left leg goes straightish. Shift forward. Shift back. And then shift forward, land your hands if they are lifted, and then extend that left leg back, cross it over to the right, look over your right shoulder at the left foot. Breathe deeply up the left side. Bend your left knee behind the right, hips go halfway back, half child's pose, half Gomukhasana. And then shift forward. We'll tuck the right toes. We'll lift the hips. We'll find downward facing dog. Pedaling out the heels. And then we'll wrap that right foot back behind the left leg. So it's on the outside of the left foot. We're going to bend deeply into the left knee, and we're going to try and drive that right ankle down towards the floor. It's one of my guilty pleasures here. And then we'll release that, bring that right foot back where you're used to having it. And then we'll wrap the left foot around that right foot. Deep bend into the right knee, drive that left heel down towards the floor. Keep that length in the spine, allow your head to grow heavy between the arms. And then bring that left foot back next to the right. On your next inhale, that right leg will rise. And as you exhale, we'll bring that right knee towards the right wrist. So we're setting up for a half pigeon. You can bend that right knee deeply. We'll curl those toes towards the right shin. If you have blocks or that stack of books, maybe underneath the right hip here for a little bit of support. And we'll start to walk the hands forward. Maybe pulsing this down, up, A couple times before we start to walk the hands a little bit further forward for a sleeping pigeon. If you would like to deepen this at all, we can start to walk the hands towards the left, reaching towards the front corner of the mat. Another breath here. And we'll start to walk the hands back to center. If you walked them to the left, we'll walk the hands back towards that right leg. Tuck those back toes, lift the hips, step that right foot back. Maybe take some hip circles with that right leg. Release out some of that tension. On your next inhale, that left leg rises. As you exhale, bring that left knee to your left wrist. You can bend that knee as deeply as you would like. Maybe that heel is back towards the right hip. And once again, if you need it, maybe using this block underneath that left hip. And then walking the hands a little bit wide and forward, maybe pulsing down, up a couple times before we start to walk the hands a little bit further forward, finding a sleeping pigeon. If you would like to deepen this, you can always walk the hands off to the right, kind of on a diagonal here. A little bit more leverage into that left hip. If you walk the hands to the right, we'll walk them back to center. And then we'll start to walk the hands back in towards that left leg. We'll start to tuck those back toes. We'll lift the hips. We'll step that left foot back. And maybe taking some circles with that left hip. Just releasing some of that tension on that left hip. And then land your left foot. Your next inhale, your right leg rises. As you exhale, bring your right knee to your right tricep and step it outside your right foot. We'll lower that back knee. We'll untuck the toes. You can stay up on your hands. You can come down to your elbows. Nice deep lizard lunge here. You can always be kind of in between with your elbows on a block or that stack of books. I keep saying that if maybe you're using that. And the final option here would be to bend into that left knee, maybe reach back with that right hand, catch a hold. Feel like you're pressing your rib cage towards the left side of the room here. And maybe you start to wing that right leg a little bit further to the right. If you have that left foot, release it. Bring that right hand back inside the right foot. We'll get rid of the block if you have it. We'll come up to the hands here. And then we'll shift the hips back, finding a half splits one more time. If it's in your practice, if you're comfortable with it, we can start to slide that right heel forward, working into full Hanumanasana. If you're somewhere in between, like I am today, maybe you place a block underneath your hips, maybe a little bit higher. Just play around with whatever you need today. And then if you slid that right heel forward, we'll start to slide it back. We'll tuck those back toes, walk the hands forward, and find your downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Your next inhale, the left leg rises. As you exhale, left knee to left triceps, and then step that left foot outside the left hand. We'll lower that back knee. We'll untuck the toes. You can stay up on your hands. You can come down to elbows. Maybe your elbows are on a block. And final option here, if you would like to bend into that right knee, reach back with the left hand, catch a hold. Nice quad stretch. Maybe winging that left knee a little bit further to the left. Feel like you're pressing the back of your rib cage towards the right side of the room now. And if you have that right foot, release it. We'll come back to center. Bring that left hand inside the left foot. Walk up to your hands if you're down on elbows. And we'll just get this block to the side. And start to shift the hips back. We'll find a half splits. If it's in your practice and you're comfortable with it, this might be totally different on this side. We'll start to slide that left heel forward, finding full Hanumanasana splits. Taking another breath. And then we'll start to slide that left heel in if you slid it forward. And then walk the hands forward, tuck your back toes, step back, downward facing dog. And then bend the knees, bring the shins down towards the mat. Untuck your toes, sit up tall onto your heels. We'll walk the hands back behind us, and then we'll start to lift the knees. So a little pressure into the anterior side of that ankle. Just giving our ankles a little bit of love. They do a lot of work for us. And then start to release that. However you would like to take Shavasana, my suggestion is maybe legs up the wall for as long as you would like. But any other poses you would love to do, feel free to add on. It's been an honor to share this practice with you today. And from my heart to yours, namaste.